Hello and welcome back to the Bourbon Bar. I'm Holden, and today I'm going to be reviewing High West Double Rye. So, today we're going to be reviewing a rye, and it's from High West, which is a crowd favorite if you ask me. We're going to be reviewing High West Double Rye. This is a blend of two different ryes. The mash bills of them, if I find them, which I'm not sure I'm going to, are going to be on the screen. And if they're not there, that's because I didn't find anything. So, what I do know is that High West sourced from MGP, and they usually sourced for a very long time until they started making their own distillate. Now that they started making their own distillate, I think some of the distillate is in here along with MGP stuff, but I don't know for sure. I can probably correct myself when I'm editing. But anyway, this is a rye whiskey, and it is 46% alcohol by volume, which is 92 proof. And let's see how it is. So I've actually never had many High West products. This is, I think, the third one I've had. I've had Campfire, and I had American Prairie. I usually stick to bourbons a lot more, or I used to, and then I started realizing that I'm holding myself back by only drinking bourbon and not trying any rye or scotch. So then I got this, and I can't complain about it, so... So there's a weird herbal note that I'm getting in the nose here. I'd say dill. I'm getting a little bit of dill. Some lighter fruits, green apples. Not sour green apples, but like the apple skins. I guess I'm just thinking green, but it could be red apple skins, but very, very lightly on that one. I'm getting a little bit of like a menthol-y, I don't know if it's kind of mint or if it's a spearmint or what it is, but it definitely seems a little menthol-y. And mixing with that dill in there, it doesn't come off proofy on the nose, but it does give you that cooling effect, which is probably why it's making me think menthol. But that dill is very, very potent in the nose. It's a little sweet. It's got a little bit of that vanilla in there. Not too much oakiness. I think the younger rye in here is 2 years. And is blended with an older rye, but I have no idea how old the older rye is. On the back of the bottle, I believe it says that both whiskeys are aged a minimum of 2 years, so not very old at all, but still smelling a little complex. Well, let's see how it is on the palate. Okay, so on the palate of this one, a little bit sweeter. That menthol note that I was talking about in the nose, definitely can taste that on the palate. There's some baking spices in there, just a little bit, not overwhelming. No level of like Wild Turkey 101 baking spice, but it is there. And the dill disappeared a little bit on the palate, which is good. I've never had a super dilly whiskey before. And that nose was really intriguing, but I'm not sure if I would like dill in my sweetness. So it had a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of caramel, and it was just sweeter on the palate than it was in the nose. But that spiciness and light fruitiness, I'm thinking maybe a pear on I'm thinking maybe a pear on the old palate. Overall, I mean, plenty of notes here. Pretty good. This bottle is relatively cheap as well. I think I actually got it on sale for $23. Normally, I think it's around $30-ish, so got a pretty good deal on it from Woodman's. Yeah, I mean, as it sits in this glass and I'm aerating it and throwing it in circles, that dill note is just more and more apparent to me. It's really up there, up front, and that baking spice is there, right on the back end of the nose. But it doesn't withhold from the sweetness. It's very good. I'm liking it so far. Yeah, sweet. A little bit of that baking spice there on the finish. Finish, not very long. Honestly, 92 proof. Doesn't really drink like a 92 proof. It drinks closer to a 80 proof. I mean, not that it's watered down or incomplex, because it does have a lot of those flavors in there. It's a nice, well-rounded rye. I don't think it's drinking that hot, which is a good thing depending on who you are and what you like. But I'm really excited, and honestly, I mean, come on, this bottle is so nice. I don't know if you guys can see, but it has some flakiness in the bottle. Very nice label, cowboy on it, but I'm gonna have to give this thing a grade now. So, thinking about other ryes that I've had, which isn't a lot, like I've said, but I've had some Turkey 101, I've had some other products that were ryes that weren't anything like this. A lot of times I think bourbon drinkers really try to get bourbon tasting rye, and if you're gonna drink if you're gonna drink rye, why would you want it to taste like bourbon? You want it to taste like rye, and this, I think, is very, very clearly a rye. It's not hiding behind those sweet bourbon notes that everyone loves. It's got the dill and the mentholy, like, honestly, it has like a little bit of a tea vibe to it, like a black tea vibe to it. Very herbal, herbaceous, amazing. And it's $30. I mean, this is like as budget rye gets, and still being, you know, not garbage. Overall, I'm gonna give this a B. The reason I'm giving it a B is because for the price and the product, it's amazing. The bottle is gorgeous. It's really all I wanted when I looked for a rye. The reason it's not getting an A is because it is only a $30 rye. It's not overly complex. It's not super rich and viscous, and it's not Kentucky Owl, and it's nothing like that. But it does have its place, and I think this would go great in a cocktail, maybe even in a rye old fashioned or a Sazerac. But that being said, High West gets a B. And that's it for this review. If you guys liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section if you've had a High West rye, if you like High West, or if you just wish you had a Midwinter's Night Dram so you could drink it this Christmas. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you in the next glass.